The Dark Souls franchise is known for its punishing difficulty, its in-depth game design, and of course its immersive gameplay. One of Dark Souls' more fascinating features is how its mechanics actually can apply to real-life struggle, frustration, and perseverance. These themes I've previously covered throughout some of my other videos as well. Through mechanics like aggroing NPCs, summoning allies to help you with boss fights, failable quest lines, and the loss of souls upon death, Dark Souls becomes more than just a punishing game, but a tool for personal development in which you can apply to real life. The ways in which a player interacts with the in-game world mirrors the decisions and consequences that we face in our everyday lives. These are the life lessons of Dark Souls. And if you're new here, this is all over with Clover, where we take your favorite nerdy franchises, stories, anime, video games, and we try to get real life lessons out of them that we can use in the real world. If that sounds like fun to you, make sure to check out some of my other videos and hit that subscribe button. Also, here's a big announcement. I just hit 1,000 subscribers due to your support and a little bit of hard work from me. And with that, I unlocked the ability to have channel memberships. By no way is it necessary, but it's just a cool feature that I'm lucky enough to use now, which means that you guys can pay $5 or $10. Let's be real, you just basically get to support me and you get these cool badges and emojis to use that me and my brother stayed up one night creating. I like being a little artsy anyway, so it was cool to make them, and we're only going to improve them. This is just the base, like, hey, we just unlocked this, that's awesome, let's make something. So that's one feature. Another feature is you'll get access to my videos earlier, a name shout out at the end of my videos, and then also your comments will get priority, so I'll respond to those much faster than just a normal comment. By no means is it mandatory or is any change going to happen to my channel, just like a really cool feature that I now have access to, and you guys can support me if you want to. And yeah, that's it. Enjoy the rest of the video. In most games you play, attacking an NPC has little to no consequences, or you just can't do it. In Dark Souls, however, aggression towards an NPC will leave you with some drastic consequences. Characters that are meant to guide you, help you throughout the story, can turn hostile upon attacking them. This can block you from upgrades, quest lines, very useful stuff. The simple act of violence of pressing the R1 button next to a helpful NPC can irreversibly change your game, forcing you to face the challenges that are on your journey alone without the crucial help of some of your allies. The strongest example that I can think of would be hitting the blacksmith, causing him to aggro at you, chasing you down, and he literally tries to box you to death. Not the best. Luckily, I can say I have never betrayed the blacksmith's trust. However, unfortunately, I have attacked an NPC before, and not the ones that you want to be attacking. It was my first From Software game, and upon loading in to the main world of Elden Ring, I run into Whiteface Barry, and this dude deserved a beating.
Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless.
His condescending attitude made me joyfully attack him. I pressed R1 extremely fast.
If you mistake kindness for frailty of heart.
After all, the dude called me maidenless, and I wasn't about to let that stand. But my decision to fight Very cost me quite a bit and did not come without consequences. Firstly, my brother, who has played these games before, watched with horror as he knows not to attack NPCs right away. Not only did I scare my brother through my reckless actions, but Very killed me multiple times, which was embarrassing. Not only that, as I'm sure some of you know, Whiteface Very is connected to Morgwyn's Palace, having a questline that will get you there extremely easily if you just play through the game and do his questline. I didn't have that option anymore. Although I will say there is an alternative route that you can take. It's not like it's the only way to get there. This whole encounter with this NPC became a valuable lesson, not just about Dark Souls and Elden Ring, but also about life, not being impulsive and not being involved in needless conflict. By choosing to make an enemy out of Whiteface Very, I inherently cost myself easy access to Morgwyn's Palace. which I, of course, regret. Ultimately, impulsivity and conflict, whether in a game or real life, can lead to regret and force you to find an alternative path, muddling up easy situations. And that doesn't sound like any fun to me. Another aspect of Dark Souls that reflects real life is its unpredictable and vague quest lines. At any moment, you can get lost and fail them. These storylines are often cryptic, requiring players to be careful and observe their surroundings and make very precise decisions. If you fail a quest line either by making a wrong choice or not paying enough attention, you could forever change the outcome. And just like that, you're out of an opportunity. One of the most heart-wrenching quest lines has to be Solaire. You meet Solaire after beating the Tauros demon, and he's with you for a couple key moments throughout the story, mainly before Ornstein and Smough, and I believe he will fight the gargoyles with you, although I've never done this. Solaire is beloved by the Dark Souls community mainly because of his positive outlook, and he worships the sun, which is based in cool. Also, he gave us the meme of Praise the Sun. Solaire's questline is actually hard to keep track of, and if you're like most players, you will end up having to face him after he's lost his mind, killing him and getting his gear. However, if you're careful, you can save him, and he will actually help you in the Gwyn fight. Likewise, in Dark Souls 3, there's Sigurd, who is the big fat armored guy, who is very wholesome and often wants to have a beer with you after a conquest. His questline ends with you and him fighting the giant Yorm and eventually taking him out. Sigurd, after defeating the giant, seemingly passes away as well, leaving you his armor and weapon. Missing him in key parts of his questline will lead you to not end up having him for that fight with Yorm, which not only hinders your performance, but also you miss out on one of the most wholesome / sad story beats in Dark Souls 3. In making this video, I knew I wanted to talk about Sigurd, but I had to do some research on his quest line, and as I was going step by step on this one website, I found this section, specifically talking about failing his quest. If you have already vanquished Yorm the Giant, or if you skipped one of the encounters from his quest line, if you want to get his armor set instead of an additional Storm Ruler, then Sigurd has to die here by your hand. Be sure to get your Titanite slab through the conversation first. This is absolutely absurd. If you fail his quest line and you don't get the satisfying ending where he helps you defeat Yorm, you actually have to murder him to get his armor. His questline is actually one of the most odd I've ever experienced in Dark Souls or Elden Ring. Literally, at one point, he's trapped in a well with his armor stolen, so you have to go and purchase it just to give it back to him. And then if you go far enough where you beat Yorm, but you don't progress his storyline, you actually then have to kill him to get his armor, as opposed to killing Yorm with him, and then he just drops his armor for you. Oh my goodness. Is this a crazy storyline? Blah. But the main point of talking about storylines in Dark Souls, Solaire's, Sigurd's, and multiple others, is that opportunities in real life can be missed, and there is no going back, which is an important life lesson. Take the opportunities that you have in front of you while you can, and also think critically about them. In gamer terms, there is no save and load function in real life or in the Dark Souls franchise. Once something has been decided, you cannot go back. Whether you're failing to capitalize on a career opportunity, a friendship, or just a good time, some doors, once closed, stay shut. Rip Sigurd. I also have no idea if I'm saying his name correctly. I feel like with most of these videos I pronounce things wrong, and I'm so sorry. Ultimately, these failed quest lines and missed opportunities in our day-to-day lives remind us that when looking forward, pay attention, live in the moment, and seize what you can, because some of the most important moments in life come without second chances. Back when I was in middle school, I believe the term for this was YOLO, which, side note, I had a professor in my university bring up YOLO in class, and it was terribly uncomfortable and cringy. I haven't heard the word in probably a decade, and now here I am saying it in one of my videos. That is probably a subconscious link, but I'm still disgusted with myself. Anyway, take opportunities when they come to you. Don't miss out, and pay attention. Some people consider Dark Souls a multiplayer experience, summoning people to help you with a boss fight or doing some PvP. To me, Dark Souls is a solo game in which I read funny comments left on the ground. There's a specific reason why I do this, and it's because 1, I suck at PvP, and if I want to play a multiplayer game, I'd play something less intense, and 2, because I'm scared to summon. It's a little intimidating. And the reason for this is, just like in life, summoning is a double-edged sword. To summon someone to help you out, you also have to be good enough to stay alive to let them help you out. What do I mean by this? If I'm summoning somebody, I want to help them kill the boss. I'm not summoning them for them to kill the boss, we're doing it together. However, if I summon someone and then fight the boss with them and then die within 30 seconds to a minute because I'm stressed out from this extra anxiety of having them help me out, all I did was lose a humanity. In my early playthroughs of the original Dark Souls, I would summon here and there, mainly because I wasn't human very often. Humanities were a very valuable resource, which I didn't use unless I absolutely needed to, mainly using them to kindle a bonfire. And then of course dying soon after losing my humanity. But those times I was able to summon an ally to help me beat a boss, 2 things would happen. 1, it would become a very important boss attempt because I decided to use a material to summon somebody. 2, my nerves and inexperience would lead me to lose that material and get no further than if I just went in alone by myself. I would literally panic, play worse than I ever have before in my life due to the boss's extra health. He'd be harder to kill, and I would die, wasting my precious humanities, which are only there to help me in situations like this. I don't know, I just have gamer brain where I don't want to spend my precious resources. I guess I should have probably farmed some rats, because rats drop humanities. It actually wasn't until I played a couple From Software games, got good enough to where I could actually summon and just beat the boss with the help of an ally. I wasn't dying right away, I understood the games, and we could do it together. Literally, by getting good at the game, the summoning mechanic became more viable and usable for me. I also wasn't just stressing out because I was going to lose my humanity. Once I was good enough at the game, using a summon felt like a true extension of the game, able to collaborate with the NPC to defeat the boss. This was like a fun curveball to a boss that I already beat by myself. It was an extra playthrough, one of a game that I already beat, so it doesn't matter if it was all me, I could summon Solaire and just have fun. Basically get a new experience with the boss fight using a game mechanic that I didn't use on my early playthrough. Okay, so we learned that I'm so bad at the game that using the mechanic that's supposed to help you was actually making it worse for me. I'm kidding, don't be mean, don't say stuff like that. But what we actually learned is that to get help from people, you actually need to prepare yourself first. Before anyone can fix a situation for you, you need to put in some of the work as well. In real life and in a gaming situation, not putting in the work beforehand can lead you to feeling stressed and overwhelmed even when you're getting help from an outside force. It's only after you lay down solid foundations that outside help and collaboration can lead to long-term success and a relief off your shoulders. One of the most defining mechanics in Dark Souls is, of course, losing your souls upon 2 deaths. Yeah, you get to collect souls, you go down, your souls are left on the ground, you have to go there, find them, pick them up, and if you're successful, you get all that XP back. If not, gone forever. Now, I said XP, but souls are actually currency / XP for leveling up, making them extremely valuable and putting you in a super stressful situation when you end up losing your souls or dying and they're at risk of being lost. Basically, if you mess up and die, you get 1 chance to fix your mess up, and if you fail that, they're gone forever. This mechanic can be infuriating, but also a good life lesson. A lesson on patience, acceptance, and resilience. Losing the souls teaches you patience because you cannot just attack every situation gung-ho head on. If you die in a dungeon in Dark Souls really far in, your souls feel like they are an impossible distance away. You need a game plan. You need to think about things logically. This game plan can be rushing past every enemy till you get to your souls and then homeward boning out of there, or it could be methodically killing every single enemy on your way there, being extra careful. Either way, you need to be patient and develop a plan, because if you rush in, you're going to quickly find out that that's just a good way to lose progress and lose your XP / money, which you don't want to lose money. Losing money sucks. I'd argue that in real life, it's the same. If I struggle with one thing, it's probably patience. Even with making these videos, I get an idea and I want to make it and I want to send it out and get it to you guys ASAP. However, the videos would be better if I just took a step back and was a little bit more patient. And if something goes wrong, trying to fix a loss, rushing to a solution is probably going to lead to a lot of errors, and you're going to wish that you would have taken a step back to fix your problems in a more considerate, thoughtful way. If you can approach these lost souls with a little bit of patience and your issues in life with a little bit of patience, you'll realize that the results are way better than a rushed solution that you went gung-ho about. While Dark Souls gives you the second chance to reclaim your souls, we need to look at the second value that it teaches us: acceptance. Acceptance is important on two factors when it comes to souls. One, there's the situation where you died once with a lot of souls, they're deep in the dungeon, and you just need to accept that you're never getting them back, which is a sucky situation to be in, don't get me wrong, but it's a situation you're going to find yourself in life. Even though it seems like there's a chance, that chance is below 1%, you're not doing it. There's times where you need to accept failure, accept defeat. I just finished a book about Nike and the founder of Nike, and he ends the book with saying, you need to know when to quit, but you also need to never stop. I think that's looking small and then looking big. You lost the souls, you need to know when to quit and give up on those souls. However, don't stop playing the game. Try again. Keep moving forward. And then, like I mentioned, there's the second situation in which you lost the souls completely. They're gone. You died twice. The souls are out of here. You can either be frustrated and rage quit the game, or you can accept the fact that they're gone forever. You can move on and look towards the future. I think that's a valuable lesson for real life. Sometimes the opportunities that you've had in life were there, now they're gone. It's time to move forward. Accept what is and keep moving. The too long didn't read version is that in Dark Souls and in real life, you need to know when to stop dwelling on the past, accept it, and try to move forward before it blocks your progression. This XP system has stakes, just like how the real world has stakes, and you need to be resilient. Even after losing 1,000,000 souls in Dark Souls or Elden Ring, you can always continue the game. There is always a path forward. Never forget that. Life is the same. No matter how many times you fail, there is still a chance of success. Losing souls in the Souls franchise or runes in Elden Ring is just a part of the game's learning curve. Just like how failure in life is a chance for a new perspective and a new challenge to overcome. Keep a positive attitude, realize everything's about learning and growth, and go get 'em, Tiger. You got this. I don't know if I'm keeping that in. Dark Souls is more than just a challenging game. It's a metaphor for life's struggles, a chance to grow and realize that you are not going to let failure define you. Whether it's resisting the urge to act impulsively or resisting conflict with your peers, accepting the losses that we inevitably face, practicing patience and logical thought, working on ourselves so when the moment comes that we need help, we can accept it and use it to its fullest extent. Dark Souls has lots of elements that translate to real life that I think we should all take in mind and use. I'm echoing a sentiment that I think everyone that has played Dark Souls has realized. The game is not just about failure, it's about how you respond to it, learn from it, and grow. In Dark Souls and real life, the key is moving forward, learning from failures, and trying your best to grow and become a better person. And especially not go hollow. Anyway guys, I've been all over with Clover. Consider subscribing, maybe even becoming a channel member. I just got access to that. And checking out this video right here. It's going to be about probably the coolest thing ever.